in this wall right here. So these are some of the blueprints from the Latour Falls.
2016 marks the 10-year anniversary of Saskatchewan Archives Week. Here to talk about the events in our city is Jamie Benson at the Historical Museum. So Jamie, what are the archives?
The archives are really a repository for historical items, including photographs, maps, graphic materials, anything to do with the history of Prince Albert. I think our earliest, well, even newspapers, our earliest newspaper, for example, goes back to 1892. And so that's getting quite a ways back in our history. Plus we've got the James collection of photographs, which is very interesting. And he was here taking photographs in the latter part of the 1800s and into the 1900s as well. And we've got a good selection of his photography. Plus many documents that relate to people that lived here during the times. Without the archives, I think people would lose track of how we got to where we are, and it's a continuing operation, collecting the information and moving on with it.
So actual tangible photographs and paper copies of several things. How can the public go about searching them?
Really get in touch with us down here at the Historical Museum in Prince Albert. The archives are available on a year-round basis. The best thing they can do is probably call us on the phone or come down themselves if they're in town, and with questions about the history or things they're looking for. I guess a good example is a fairly recent request for information that we got is people looking for information on the house they live in. We have Henderson's directories which go back to 1908, and we can tell people who lived in their house from those years right up to the present time. Well, I think the Hendersons stopped at 2000 or 1999. So we can tell them previous residents in their houses up to that point. We intend to have some of the Hendersons on display during Archives Week, as well as some panoramic photographs, some old tax ledgers and things like that. So there should be quite a bit of interest to people.
What are some of the fascinating items that you have here?
I think the most interesting to most people are the photographs. We post a number online, and we almost always get queries about them. Plus, if you look right behind us, you'll see on these flat files up behind us, these are all those long panoramic photographs. They were taken many years ago, primarily by William James, who was one of our first photographers in Prince Albert. And these are anywhere up to almost 5 feet long, some of the photographs. They're taken with a very specialized camera called a Kodak circuit camera, and they're quite interesting to see. Plus, of course, we've got many photographs of just standards, kind of snapshots right up to formal portraits and that type of thing. So probably the photograph collection is of most interest to a lot of people.
When are the hours of operation for the Archives Week?
Archives Week will be down here we'll have a display upstairs and plus offering tours of the archives on the 11th and the 13th of February. So that's the Thursday and Saturday from 1 o'clock until 4 o'clock. And I expect both Ken and I, who is the other main volunteer down here, plan to be down here to help people find things and to give them a tour of the archives.
Now, if people want to get in touch with you afterwards or have questions, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, through the Historical Museum. We're on the same phone number and the same web page as well. So the phone number is 764-2992, and our web page is historypa@citypa.com is our email, and the web page I think is just historypa.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Oh, great. I look forward to seeing lots of people down here while we have things on display.